Hi there, and welcome back to Naturally Recovering Autism. As usual, I always appreciate you being here and what you're doing for your child because you, as a parent, are the key to their success in life and them living the best quality of life possible. And these are the resources I share here. And as you know, based on my now 19 years of research, because when my son was diagnosed, I was told to drug him, try behavioral therapies, and there was really nothing we could do. And I didn't want to listen to that. Fortunately, my, you know, now 38 year, but at the time 20-year background of working with the brain and doing craniosacral therapy let me know the brain can and does heal. But I didn't know that much about autism. And I began to research it on my own, as many of us here have, as you're likely doing now. You're here because you've been researching to figure out what are the missing pieces, what are you missing? And that's what I did with my son's journey. And now today, 19 years later, he's fully recovered and those symptoms are gone. And if I had listened to the naysayers or the people who said there wasn't much more we could do, I don't know what his life would be like today. He's an independent young man living on his own with a great job, full-time job, and his life is happy and healthy and with tons of friends. And that's what I want for your child. At least what we can do is bring them to the best quality of life possible. And these are the resources I have to share with you. And I'm very, very excited today to have a special guest with us. So Kara is with us, and she has been a member of my program. And this program is something I developed for parents, for you. I've lived the journey, I know the need, and I thought, how could I have researched all these 19 years and gathered this information and had success with my son and not shared it? So I've created the Naturally Recovering Autism membership program for you. Kara has been a member Kara, is it about a year now?
Uh,
A year?
just a year, yes.
Here, perfect. And we're going to have a conversation because I think it's very important for you to hear what other parents have experienced. And for one, mainly to know you're not alone and that there is hope. So, Kara, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And you have such a kind heart to want to share the success that you're having with your own son. And it does give so many hope. So, welcome.
Thank you, Karen. I'm so glad and honored to be here this evening.
And so I think it's good for our listeners to hear from you what it is well, first of all, how old is your son now? And how old was he when he was diagnosed? And kind of what were the first
Okay.
symptoms that you noticed?
Sure. So Bennett is 5 now. We started noticing just some things were off. He's not been necessarily diagnosed with autism. That was a route we decided not to go just because um, it would only give you a diagnosis, right? So my parents came to us when he was had just turned 4, so early 4s, and they said, something is off with Bennett, something's not right. And we, as first time parents, were one, devastated to think that anything could be wrong. And we went to our doctor and we're like, what is going on? What could be wrong? And they looked at it, gave me a sheet of paper to fill out, and said he looks perfect because there's so many things where he was high functioning, doing so fantastically. But there were also issues that we were seeing on a day to day that the doctor was not catching.
Mhm.
And we left and we were just like, well, okay, they said he's perfect. But we kept seeing things and we kept saying something isn't right. He had been speech delayed when he was at the age where babies should be talking. He was having sensory issues with eating, meltdowns over nothing, and not just a 5 minute crying, like full blown out meltdown all day, and just having the hardest time connecting with others, even people he should have connected with, family members. And like, I didn't realize it at the time until later. It was just heartbreaking. He had never even told me he loved me as a mom.
Mhm.
And like, we're home all the time. We're a very, very close knit family, but to not even make those connections where just socially struggling. So we started really noticing trends at the age of 4. But even thinking back, when did this all start? I would say it was probably after he had had COVID at about age 20 months. That was when it really started having sensory issues, picky eating, sleep became a huge problem, obsessive and compulsive over numbers and letters and just things that he gravitated to, like just obsessive tendencies. So we were devastated and we started looking into ABA therapy because I wanted help for my little boy. And started looking into that, started trying to get into their program because I did believe that the brain has a lot of plasticity and could heal, but I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what I needed to do to make that happen. And so we started looking into ABA and talking with them, and we're really blown away by the cost,
Mm,
honestly, and the debt that we were going to go into as a family, just
mhm.
trying to help him
Right.
live his best life. And so we started looking, and I just started praying and asking God for wisdom and to show me what to do because we didn't know. And I, by chance, stumbled across you, Karen Thomas, and started listening to your podcast and your research and just seeing how you have connected so many of the dots. And I agreed so much with what you were saying. And I realized that I had two choices. I could try ABA, where we might see some results, or I could go with what you had said and where you've seen results and where you've helped your son and hundreds like him live a better life. And I knew that was what I wanted for my son. I didn't want to, this may work, this may not work. I wanted, this is going to work.
And a lot of parents will, come upon the podcast or my website and things. And
Yes.
so, what is it that had you let you know? Was it more that I had gone through it with my own son, and of course, there's the research,
Mhm.
but to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and try this and
Right.
see, what can happen. What was your motivation, or what was your kind of your belief system that made you cross over and go, okay, I'm going to do this?
Sure. So I've always been more healthfully minded, which I'm very thankful for. I mean,
Mhm.
I've just always had I know that what you eat has such a big role in it. And when you started saying how this is what you need to do with your diet and how this all works together, I knew that there was a lot of validity to that. And then I had been researching a lot with coming to the realization that he did have some autistic symptoms and seeing that there were a lot of minerals and natural things that you can do to help. And it just lined up with my thinking,
Mhm.
and it lined up with what I already believed and what I knew to be true already. And it just, it sounded like the right fit for my family and what I already believed naturally
And
as
so,
a parent.
how far into the program how many months did was it that you really started noticing some changes in Bennett, and what were they?
Okay, so we've only been on the program for a year, but I would say, oh goodness, it was probably a month, maybe not even, that he started improving with his eye contact. Before it was just, all over the place, won't look at me. And now it was focusing in. He said, I love you as we were putting him in
Oh,
bed, and we always prompted it, but it was, and then it got to where he couldn't stop saying, I love you.
uh,
And, um, and then he started laughing at our jokes, when we see something funny, and
mm,
he was coming alive, Karen.
yeah.
He was just like he was coming out of his brain fog, and he was finding his family.
Mhm.
Um, and just seeing that and seeing these are little steps, but little steps, they add up, and they add
Absolutely.
up to who he is and who he's becoming.
Mhm.
Um, but so he started laughing at our jokes and started wanting to connect with um, family members, starting to say hello to others when we're out and about, and now like he'll go to his little classes for our co-op and different things, and he's ready to share and be a part of things
Oh,
and not go hide in the corner
right.
like he was wanting to do. So it's just seeing all these little steps just add up.
And how is he today?
Oh, he's doing so good. He's having so many good and clear days. We just we're continuing with what we're doing. We're taking it slow as you recommend, and that's been good for him. He's not had any regression on it. And it just he's outside, he's playing with his little brother, and they're playing imagination, something he never has done before. And just um, playing with my his uncles and the aunts and the cousins and just having a great time and just connecting with people and just doing so good. He's sleeping through the night. He's he still has struggles with eating, but he's doing so much better with how he eats now than where he ate even a year ago. He'll try things and things that were like, this is completely not my child. And now he's doing things. And he's not obsessing over his letters and numbers. He's wanting to try new things. Our
Hmm.
house is no longer decorated with ABCs all over the wall.
The OCD has diminished
Yes.
significantly.
And and now he's trying new things. He's found new interests. It's been everything.
I'm so grateful,
I am
honestly, that
too.
it's happened. I mean, I see children
Yes.
everywhere, and I just want to reach out to the parents.
Yes.
There are solutions. I can help you.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
I can help you. And getting, people. I know that so many parents have been through so much. They think they've done it all, and they see this, they see my, my website or my podcast, and they think, is this real? How has this helped anybody? And it's helped so many people. So I appreciate
Yes.
sharing this
Yes.
firsthand so that they can hear the differences that it makes. Because would you say that it has saved you time and expense that
Oh,
you may have spent otherwise
absolutely.
searching?
Absolutely. We were at the point where we were just trying things. We tried a
Mhm.
few things and we
Randomly.
wasted some time and we wasted some money.
Mhm.
But now I know that your program has such credibility and everything that we have done from you has helped. Everything that we have used from you has been worth our time and worth our effort. And I'm very thankful for that, that we didn't have to look around and we found you, and what a help that has been to our
Mhm.
family.
I'm grateful. And then how has it changed your family dynamics, or for your whole family? How has it helped you, everyone?
Sure. Really, I think the biggest area it's helped is just day to day. It was hard because you didn't know what your day would look like. You didn't know if it was going to be a good day or a hard day. You didn't know if it was going to be what was going to be thrown at you. And that was very hard. And not always being able to mentally prepare for it and help with the meltdowns. And now, when a meltdown happens, and some of it is because he is still young and he is still learning, but he will be sad, but he won't be devastated for hours and
Hmm.
hours. But so, I mean, that has helped tremendously. And just seeing him connect with my family and seeing just the love that he has for others. And it's just been very, very encouraging to see that we're on the right path.
No, I love that. So before having uncertainty about his future, how are you
Yes.
feeling about his future now?
Very hopeful. And it is, you joke that you never want your babies to leave home, but you really do. And I'm very thankful that I know that one day he will have the independence and he will be able to go off and make his own mark in the world and say, I'm good and I have God has big plans for him. And it's just he has the capability to do that now and not to be held back in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there anything as we sort of complete, is there anything you'd like to share with parents before we finish? Anything else you'd like to say to give them, hope or just anything that you have to share?
Sure. I think two things. One, if you're looking for something for help with your children, this is it. Stop looking, stop trying different things. Go to Karen Thomas and stick with it and trust her process. And then also just don't give up hope. It is hard. And there's nothing about this program that's easy, but to know that this program can give you and your child their best life is everything. And it's something I know for myself, I'm going to look back on and say that was hard, but it wasn't bad. And it was something that I would do again for my child just to have their best life.
Mhm.
And um, yeah, I
That
think
it's
that's
always worth it.
it's very worth
Never
it.
give
And
up.
yes, yes, never give up. Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
there are some parents who have family when their children are in their late 20s, even in their
Yeah,
30s, and they've still had success. And so
yes,
I am grateful that parents keep striving to find the answers. And I always hope that they find my programs sooner than later so that they can
yes,
save the time and expense that I spent trying to figure it out, because that's the purpose of this, just to be able to help families like yours, Kara, and get
yes,
results and, help, because it affects the entire family and everybody's lives are intertwined with it in the family. And we want our children, we want the best for them. So I'm grateful that you've done the work, that you stuck with it, the program, followed the sequence, you do the steps, and you keep going, and you continue to get greater success as we work further with the underlying causes that are the reason for the symptoms that our kids have. So that's what I always like to tell people: naturally and safely, no drugs, we can do this process that helps their body to be as it was meant to be, healthy again. And once we get rid of the inflammation, the toxins, the pathogens, and things in the way, then your child can be who they truly are. So thank you
yes.
so much for being here and sharing. I appreciate it. As do I'm sure so many parents listening, and it gives them hope and understanding, and we always want the best for everybody. So again, thank you for sharing with everybody today. I appreciate you being here.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Karen, for having me.
It is my pleasure. I'm glad that you were able to do this. And again, anybody listening, please, make sure that to go to my website to get my resources. Naturallyrecoveringautism.com. That I offer more than this podcast. There's the membership program. There are a lot of resources available for you that I've put together over close to 20 years of research now that is there for you and for you to get the greatest success for your child. I'm here to help you, and I look forward to doing that in the future. So thank you so much for being here and for what you're doing for your child, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.